No, I think my question was more like you knew that there was a life out there more than money, that you were not, you are stopping to enjoy it. You actually paying attention. You didn't have to have money to pay attention to that. So at what point did you realize that there's more out there than chasing work?
Oh, that's a great question.
And enjoy it. Yeah, that was
so I'm a little different. I got into business and I said, how fast? Once I started as a speaker, fee-paid speaker, and I quickly realized about three years into it, this is a horrible job. Well, as I was sitting in an airport at 10 o'clock at night, waiting for my flight that was supposed to leave 5 hours earlier, and it's not leaving until midnight now, and I missed my connecting flight, so now I'm gonna have to stay overnight in Chicago, and I might miss the talk the next day, and I'm worn out, exhausted, and my body chemistry's off because I'm in two different times. I realized, well, this is really dumb. I love the speaking part and helping people and meeting people, but all this other stuff, it's a pain in the butt. Going through TSA, being, delayed, and the car didn't show up, and this and that, and that's the stuff that I realized is not much fun. That's not the glamorous stuff that we see. It's like, I know I've known a lot of high-end entertainers, A-list celebrities, and you'll see, here, I'll give you an example. So I would be backstage with the guys from Def Leppard Rock and Roll Band. If anybody knows Def Leppard Rock and Roll, they'd be in Vegas, and I'm backstage with them and knew those guys, hung out with them. And that's all fun when they're on playing the concert for 90 minutes. But then you know what happens? They get off the stage, they go and they shower, they jump on the bus, and they're driving, 8 hours to the next city. They're pulling in at 3, 4 in the morning. They're getting off the bus. They're going, doing sound checks. Then they're going and doing their stuff in the afternoon, hanging out. Then they're coming back at 7 o'clock, going back on stage, playing the concert, getting off stage, going down to the ramp, getting on the bus, that's the stuff you don't see, right? So it's not the glamour that we all think it is. And so I figured that out quickly with speaking, right? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to re-engineer how I think about my business. I'm in business to create freedom for myself.
There you go.
So that I can do what I want, when I want, where I want, however much I want, with who I want, and with who I don't want, right? Because you don't always want to work with people that you don't resonate with, right? And so I started re-engineering my business like 3 years into it when I realized this is a really tough thing, what I'm doing here. Sitting in an airport at 10 o'clock at night because I missed my flight 5 hours, that sort of thing, right? So I said, wait a minute. I need to focus and put the throttle down and profit as much as I can, as quickly as possible, get out of all debt first, pay off the credit cards and all that, because that's, we all start off in some debt form. But then I thought, well, then I got to pay off the house, the car, and everything. And then I need to put some money away and let that thing grow after I get all the debt paid off. And so I put this plan together and I said, okay, within 5 years, I'm retiring if I do it this way. And so I was putting the throttle down, work with a reason for doing it. Pay off the bad debt, like credit cards, all that, school loans. Number 2, pay off the necessary debt, like a mortgage, a car payment, medical insurance for the year, all that stuff. But then number 3, it was to start putting all that money that I was paying toward debt and all that away for me and have it grow for me so that I could check out of this thing and not sit in airports anymore and just go sit on the beach or play golf. That's why I put the throttle down for 5 straight years, because I had an end game in mind.
Yep.
Most people work with the throttle down, have no strategy, have no end game in mind, and therefore they wake up one day and they've been working for 23 years putting the throttle down and have nothing to show for it, because when they were making the profit, they weren't paying things off. They were going and investing in stupid stuff they don't need, like I used to do, right? And blowing money. They didn't think about get out of debt first. I won't get spiritual, but we've heard it in the Bible. The borrower is the slave to the lender, right? So my thing was get out of debt, and debt also means mortgage and house payment, but I never stopped making the mortgage, house payment, car payment, but I never stopped making those payments. I now kept that monthly payment, but only coming to me and investing it for myself. So to answer your question, I was throttled down, but for a concentrated period of time that I focused on, that I planned from the beginning when I was in debt and didn't have would seem to be a bright future. But I had this plan, and if I did this, then here's what will happen for me in year 1. Here's what will happen year 2, 3. And by the time I hit year 5, I can walk away from this thing and not ever do it again. Now, I chose to keep doing it, but then I only did the ones I want to do and that sort of thing. So I think where folks get messed up it's kind of a long-winded answer to your question, is they hustle, work with no real thought out strategic plan, and what's the end date? What's the goal? Why are we doing this? Right? And how long are we going to do this before we shift and go and do exactly what we want to do every day? So sometimes you got to put the throttle down and bust your butt and pull the 12 hours, 12-hour days in order to hit the goal, so that then you can pull 0-hour days 7 days a week the rest of your life if you want to. So that's kind of a long-winded answer, but that's my different way of thinking about it versus just hustle.